Application and Data Security on IBM Bluemix. In this presentation, we'll go through some important scenarios related to overall application and data security. Topics to be covered will be understanding why and how to be careful with API and service keys, tools available to help you check and improve the security of your applications on Bluemix, and features available in data services to help you secure your data. With the advent and explosion of API keys and their ease of use with online services, there has been a not very unsurprising effort by users with malicious intent to find and exploit unprotected service credentials. There are dozens of blog posts and articles on the internet explaining how, in a remarkably short period of time, a few days or less, big charges were run up after theft of service keys. By many accounts, AWS EC2 seems to be very popular, with users spinning up large numbers of VMs and mining bitcoins or performing other clandestine activity. One of the most common exploits in this scenario involves finding the credentials in a public code repository like GitHub or an internet blog or website through the use of bots. Of course, these are just some of the more visible examples. There are probably countless other cases where API keys and other service credentials are stolen and the incident is not detected. This can lead to long-term misuse, abuse, and fraud of services, or perhaps more significantly, the use of these credentials to access runtime data and bypass other security measures in application. Clearly, protecting API keys and service credentials is very important. Fortunately, Bluemix Cloud Foundry applications encourage a style that makes it both easy for developers to secure API keys and other service credentials, and also to work with services in a dynamic manner. By following these practices, you can avoid cases where credentials are stored with your code and are susceptible to accidental exposure by one Git push. Cloud Foundry applications support managed services which provide access credentials through the environment to the application runtime. This avoids the need to ever let credentials close to code repositories and keeps them out of configuration files. Write your applications to use the credentials provided through the vCap services environment variable. For local testing, you can copy vCap services to the clipboard and then export as a shell environment variable before launching the application locally. Bluemix also supports user-provided services. These you can populate with credentials for external services and then bind to your applications to also make these credentials available through the environment. When implementing REST APIs, avoid cases where credentials are used within the URL or as part of a URL encoded query string. This style of credential use can inadvertently leave copies of service credentials and API keys unprotected within proxy server, firewall, and web endpoint log files. IBM has a security tool that you can use to scan your application to identify security issues before they become a problem for you or your users. This type of security testing can be applied before or after deployment of an application. The Mobile Application Scan capability performs a scan of mobile application packages for Android or iOS applications. The dynamic scan goes through a running website, optionally following to other linked sites, and scans for security issues. This scanner can also be used to scan a non-internet accessible website through the AppScan Presence component. There's also a tool you can download to your development environment to run a static code scan. This generates a file that is uploaded to the service to create a report. The report dashboard shows a summary of all scan results, including number of issues and counts by severity of high, medium, low, and informational. The detailed scan reports available from the service outline the specific issues, identify where they appear in the application or code, and in most cases include recommendations for remediation of the issue. Using application security on cloud is an important way to catch problems early. You can even integrate scanning with this service into your DevOps cycle using Bluemix Continuous Delivery by adding it as a test in your delivery pipeline. Encryption is important to protecting data in flight and data at rest. The KeyProtect service is available in Bluemix to help you securely manage encryption keys for your applications and services in the cloud. Here are the capabilities of KeyProtect. IBM KeyProtect is a cloud-based security service that provides lifecycle management for encryption keys that are used in IBM Cloud services or customer-built applications. KeyProtect provides roots of trust backed by a hardware security module, or HSM. KeyProtect provides a centralized system to view, manage, and audit your encryption keys. Audit your keys and access restriction to keys to ensure the security of your resources. KeyProtect provides a REST API that can be used with any programming language to store, retrieve, and generate keys. You can monitor API keys to KeyProtect with Access Trail. The DB Web Console includes a sensitive data reporting feature that detects and monitors sensitive objects in the DB data warehouse, such as credit card numbers and U.S. Social Security numbers. To run and view reports, identify columns that contain sensitive data and provide information about connections and activities that access the sensitive data, select Monitor Sensitive Data in the Web Console. The DB2 on Cloud service is a managed server with IBM DB2 installed. This is a paid service on Bluemix that gives a developer full DBA access. It supports SSL configuration for Data Studio to connect to DB2 on Cloud for managing the database. DB2 on Cloud supports encryption through the DB2 native encryption feature to protect data at rest. With native database encryption, the database system itself encrypts the data before it calls the underlying file system to write the data to the disk. Native database encryption is suitable for protecting data in cases of either physical theft of disk devices or privileged user abuse. To create an encrypted database in the default instance using the default key store, issue the create database command, specifying the encrypt parameter. For example, createDB, mydb1, encrypt. This concludes our overview of application and data security concerns on Bluemix. Thanks for watching.